Hey, so again, my name is Samantha. I run a trucking company out of Mulberry, Florida, which is the Central Florida area. The purposes is I just wanted to shed light again on the transportation industry. I am a Florida-based carrier, which is a disaster anytime besides produce season, which we all know it's hot as hell and produce season is over. Anyways, I just wanted to shed some light on the freight that we've been hauling out of the state of Florida. These are just loads that my drivers did over the last week. I got a handful of reefer loads here and then also a couple of dry van loads. I only have a couple of dry van drivers, so I don't have too much information on that. So the first one I have here is going out of Plant City, which is 16 miles of deadhead for my drivers and then 356 loaded miles for a total of 373 miles. All in all, the reefer is held at 36 degrees. And the rate per mile on that load is $2.94. Now, while I am a spot market carrier, I do have some loads that I would say, I guess, we're dedicated to, but through brokers. So this is one of those loads that we do year round. We do a couple of them a week. So that's why this one's a little bit higher paid than a lot of other ones that I'm going to talk about. The next one that we do, or that we have for this past week, is a load out of Leesburg, Florida to Flowood, Mississippi. The deadhead miles on that load is 84 miles. Loaded miles is 641. Reefer temperature is 32 degrees. The total miles on it is 725, which makes for a rate per mile of $2.48. Again, not bad. The next load we did is going to be out of Orlando, Florida, which from Mulberry is 64 deadhead miles, and it was 807 loaded miles. It did have 2 drops on it, one in North Carolina and then another one in Virginia, for a total of 871 miles. And the temperature on this is 32 degrees, and it paid $2.18 a mile. The next load is going to be a load out of Orlando again, 64 deadheaded miles for us, 476 loaded miles for a total mile count of 541 miles. The reefer temperature was at 32 degrees on this one, and that paid $1.84 a mile. The next one is going to be a load from Winter Haven to Yorktown, Indiana. Winter Haven is about 18 miles from us. And then loaded miles is 1,049 for a total of 1,068 miles. This one, it was at -10, and the rate per mile on that one was $1.63, which is getting kind of low for what it is. The next load was a load that went out of LaBelle, Florida, which is actually about 100 miles from us. It went to Jacksonville, Florida, so we're just getting up into the northern part of the state. The loaded miles was 271 for an all-in mileage count of 383 miles. This again was at -10, but we got $2.48 a mile on that one. Now this is more of a local load, but it does get us up to almost Georgia, so it helps us get out of the state. Again, it's very hard any other time rather than produce season to get out of the state of Florida. I got 2 dry van guys, so I have 2 dry van loads here that I'm going to talk about. They went out this past week. The first one picked up in Tampa and went to Decula. Deadhead miles on that is 42. Loaded miles is 486 for a total of 528 miles. And that one we only got $1.30 a mile on. Still, it's not too bad. It's just dry van freight. And then the last load is going to be from Orlando to Indiana. This one is a deadhead miles of 60. Loaded miles of 992 for an all-in mile count of 1,053, and that's going to be $1.42 a mile, which again isn't too bad. Could be better, but we are down here in the state of Florida. I don't know. I know a lot of guys come down here during produce season, but I don't know a lot of other carriers like us that are based out of the state of Florida. Again, just want to shed light on the transportation industry and find out what other carriers are doing. How are you guys surviving out there? It's been really rough this past, year and a half for everybody. So I just want to talk about what we do here and then hear from everybody else to see how everybody else is staying alive. Thank you.